Hey there, my name is Martin from SwedishEmbedded.com, and in this video, I'm going to show you what is the key element in all sales. And especially if you're a technical person, you might have a negative feeling about sales. You don't quite know how to do that, and you end up kind of stumbling along in the process. So I'm going to show you three things that are not very well known. They're obvious once you see them, but they are not most people don't actively think about them, and so sales becomes harder when you don't apply these principles. So the three principles are, whenever you have any sales message, whenever you have anything to present, whenever you're even doing a presentation, technical presentation, for example, for your team, it's very important that you follow these principles. And the first principle is affinity. So if you have affinity, affinity basically means that you are as close as possible and preferably in the same space as the audience. But also affinity means that there is a level of things in common between you and the audience, and you are somebody that the audience likes, and they accept what you're saying, so that everything you say lands in a good place where it doesn't get knocked over because the person is just, closed-minded. So for example, an example of no affinity is somebody who reads a book about some concept that they actually oppose. So they end up pushing that concept away, and there is no affinity. So they never invite that concept. They never look at it from different angles to try to understand why it makes sense. So when a person is very negative towards an idea, there's not going to be any affinity between you and that person, because they simply wouldn't take that idea in. And even if you place some idea into their minds, they're just going to knock it over and just totally mess it up. And they're not going to really accept that and build upon it and let it stand there where you put it. So you can affect affinity by communicating in a way that that places the idea in such a way that basically the person can actually understand the idea, and so affinity grows through that. And all of these three are related. So when you increase one, the others increase as well, because it becomes easier. So the first one is affinity, and the second one is authenticity. Which means basically that you are saying it like you feel it. You communicate in a way that you just put it out there just like you feel it, and there is a real feeling about what you're saying. So when it comes to communicating with authenticity, it simply means that you say it like you feel it, and you explore this space of this idea in as much detail as possible, so that it becomes real, so that when somebody looks at the idea, they can actually see that, oh, that's exactly how it is, and it's actually real for them. And number three is the flow of communication. So the more you communicate, the more you sell. The more you tell, the more you sell. When I was in door-to-door sales, I would be talking to 60 people a day. So while it was very inefficient and it was very stupid to be out there and it took me 3 years to talk to 20,000 people, I could have done that in a much shorter period of time. I could have done it in 2 days if I used advertising, for example. But it took me 3 years to do that. But during those 20,000 conversations, I sold hundreds of doors. And if I didn't talk to 20,000 people, I wouldn't be selling the doors. So I wouldn't be making the sales. And the more you talk, the more flow you have, the more authenticity and affinity you get with the person that you're talking to. Now, of course, if they are fighting against this and if they are very, very skeptical, obviously they're just going to knock the idea over, and and it's just not going to stick. But if you just keep flowing, if you just keep communicating, it doesn't really matter, because for you it doesn't really matter. There's thousands of people that you can talk to, and the more people you talk to, the more you'll find people where you have high affinity and you have high authenticity in both ways, and you can have a two-way conversation with those people, and it just works out really well. So when you understand this, and when you actively work to increase these 3 points, sales for you becomes easier. Even if you're an engineer, even if you're a person who's very logical and you like to put things into systems, it becomes easy for you to understand how to communicate without really feeling bad about it, or without feeling that you just don't know what to say, or you just don't know what to do, or anything like that. It just becomes very natural. It becomes very simple to then follow the system for presentations, and system for any content that you put together, and just put together a story, and it just works out fine. So if you think this makes sense, then I have a coaching program at swedishembedded.com/now. If you go there, you can register for the coaching program. It's a monthly program where we do live calls every week, where we discuss 3 different topics. We have the hardware, the software, and the marketing of technical knowledge, so that you can grow as an embedded engineer. So I want to increase your skills in hardware. I want to increase your skills in software. And I also want to show you how you can sell your knowledge online, so that you can impact more people and expand your authority in the area of embedded systems. So I'm looking forward to talking to you. Go to swedishembedded.com/now, register there, and I'll see you in the group. Have a good day.